What's up, y'all? It's your boy, the Flash Drive, formerly known as the CPB23, and this is the Stepping Back Check, Left Hook, Make You Eat the Ring Post Boxing Show. And I'm your host. And it's brought to you by these motherfucking balls and also Ricky Hatton's jaw. You know, you remember. All right, so check it out. I'm right here checking out BloodBoxing's video about Floyd Mayweather and Muhammad Ali. Now, look, I'm going to tell you, I love BloodBoxing's videos. I'm going to tell y'all that from the beginning because that dude is funny as hell. He be having me crying when he go in. But sometimes he be saying some shit that just ain't true. Some of it is true, and then a lot of it has so much gray area in there that you can be like, okay, that's not totally factual. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to debunk a lot of these false narratives and rumors he's got going on. That's my dog, though. I fucks with him. You know, I love his videos, and I'm subscribed like a motherfucker. You know, and I did all that shit. But right now, I need to, we got to address this. All right, so first of all, I want to talk about Floyd Mayweather not fighting black fighters. So I'm going to give you a couple of fighters that he fought, and I'm going to give you the status of these fighters. And then we're going to go into all these other things that he touched on because it's a lot of things he went in on. And some of it you can kind of say, okay, maybe that can be true. Maybe that can be false. But we're going to touch on it right now. First of all, he said he didn't fight black fighters. That's clearly wrong. I listened to the video. He said he didn't. Then he changed it and said, well, he didn't fight these black fighters. Okay, so wait a minute. Which one is it? And this is what I be trying to say when I be debating people. You got to stick to one thing. So he said he don't fight them. So I'm going to address the ones that he did fight. And I'm going to address one of the times where he said the fighter that he fought, he was scared to fight him and he beat his ass. All right. So Floyd Mayweather fought Chop Chop. He took him vicious, nasty punch in that fight too. A couple of them. He fought Chop Chop Corley. And I think Chop Chop Corley only had like 2 or 3 losses on his record. He also fought Zab Judah, who was IBF champion, but not because he had lost his belts to Carlos Baldomir. We're going to get to Carlos Baldomir soon. But he was IBF. He had the IBF title by default, whatever you want to say, because I know that's what you guys are going to go with. But he fought Zab Judah. He also fought Andre Berto, who's a former champion. Now, Andre Berto was on his way out. But you guys got to understand, a lot of these things, and that's just on the black fighters' perspective, and he's fought other ones, but I just put those guys out there. A lot of these guys that Floyd Mayweather fought, or you would say Blood, dodged, ended up losing fights to people that he beat already. What's the use of fighting him? And I'm going to go down the list. Let's say, because let me touch on one thing first before I get to that, because I remember you said that Floyd Mayweather was never undisputed champion. Now, in Floyd Mayweather's era, I want you to tell me a fighter that was undisputed in that era, in his weight division, whether it was welterweight, junior welterweight, whatever. Just tell me one that in 140, 147, whatever. Tell me what time there was a fighter that was undisputed. So how was he able to be undisputed? Well, I can tell you one way that you can kind of semi say he was undisputed. And I'll prove that right now. Carlos Baldomir beat Zab Judah. Okay. When he beat him, he had the Lineal Championship. He had the Ring Magazine Championship. He had the damn WBC title. And he would have had IBF, but he didn't want to pay the sanctioning fee. So that's 4 damn belts. You might as well say he's undisputed when you say 4 fucking belts, okay? 4. Then he beat Zab anyway, so that was the 4th belt. So basically, he was undisputed champion when he won and beat Carlos Baldomir and he beat Zab Judah. And let's not play with me right now, okay? Like I say, I'm going to hit you with the facts and the data. You was getting a little emotional on that video, but I'm going to reel your ass back in because you're fucking up right now. Okay, so that's number 1. Well, that's number 2, okay? He was basically undisputed champion. 4 damn belts. Like you said, it's 100 fucking belts in the division. So it's not like he's going to get all 12 of them. I didn't even make up some shit. The Intercontinental European title. He's not going to have all that shit. but he did get the lineal, which is the major championship, the Ring Magazine title, which is a major championship, and WBC. Come on, man. You can't beat that. So that means he had basically damn 4 belts, IBA, all that shit. He had them all. Carlos Baltimore, he beat him. And he didn't just, it wasn't like a split decision, close victory. He whooped his ass for 12 fucking rounds and beat Carlos Baltimore. And let me get to this. Carlos Baltimore was a guy that they said he feared. So he gave you the fight with Zab Judah leading up to that fight. The person Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a person with a style similar kind of like his, but a lefty. Oh, Floyd can't fight lefties. Oh, my goodness. He fought Zab and beat Zab. Now, you can go ahead and say, okay, Zab won the first 3 or 4 or 5 rounds, but after that, Mayweather cleared the board. So, therefore, he beat him convincingly. Let's move on. Now, Floyd Mayweather, before, because you say he didn't fight Earl Spence, and Pacquiao is. Okay, so Mayweather's he's about getting his check, period. He's not fighting in professional boxing anymore. So you can't hold him to the same standards as a Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is still fighting as a professional fighter. He's not retired. So he has, well, I wouldn't say he has to, but if you're going to point somebody to fight somebody, point to Manny Pacquiao. You're like, well, Pacquiao's fighting Spence. Okay, so what if Pacquiao beats Spence's ass? And it's possible, okay? I got Spence winning in a knockout, probably 9th round. But there's a possibility that Pacquiao can whoop his ass. And then check this out. If Pacquiao whoops his ass, guess who beat Pacquiao's ass? Oh! So who gives a fuck if he fought Earl Spence or not? And Earl Spence wasn't even popping at the time Mayweather was really fighting in like 2014, 2015, in that time frame. Earl Spence, nobody really knew about. They knew about him. He was undefeated, but he hadn't done shit. And he was just getting his feet under him. Okay, let's be honest, okay? Then you say Paul Williams. Paul Williams didn't even have 30 fights under his belt when he fought, when you guys were talking about Mayweather was ducking him. Number one. And then on top of that, Paul Williams didn't even last that long. Mayweather would have beat Paul Williams, dog. Let's be honest. Paul Williams ain't that great. You seen what happened to Paul Williams by Sergio Martinez, okay? When he fought a guy his size, well, I wouldn't say his size because I say Sergio Martinez is a little bit bigger of a fighter, but you guys get the point where I'm trying to make. Mayweather doesn't have to. Then you tried to hold Mayweather. He's never had to fight a Ronnie Lyle or Mayweather is a 147. When's the last time you seen a 147-pound fighter fight a heavyweight, dog? See, this is how stupid motherfuckers think we are. That is a narrative that you're making up. Come on, man. He's not going to fight a heavyweight. Did Sugar Ray Leonard fight Ali? Did Sugar Ray Leonard fight Tyson? Did he fight? And you guys, and this dude is Mayweather's 45 years old, dude. What do you guys want him to do? At 60 years old, come back and keep fighting these young dudes? This is the type of shit I be saying. You guys just making up shit out of your mind. You guys don't even use your damn brain. Okay, here we go. Pacquiao fought Spence. Mayweather beat Pacquiao. You guys said Mayweather was afraid to fight Shane Mosley. I remember when at the post-fight of Marquez fight, when Mayweather beat Marquez in a convincing fashion, coming back from retirement, Shane Mosley jumped in the ring. And I remember you, Blood, because me and you go far back on this shit. I remember you making a video saying Floyd was scared of Shane Mosley. You did this and you kept going and you kept harping. Well, guess who Floyd fought next, Blood? Guess who he fought next? Shane fucking Mosley. And guess what happened to him? Mosley got his ass whooped for 12 fucking rounds. And you really didn't even give him props for that. Even after the fact, you're saying that he was too old and this and that. Shane Mosley was too old. Now, wait a minute. If Shane Mosley was too old, and Shane Mosley was about 36, 37, maybe, at the time when he fought Floyd Mayweather, how old is Floyd Mayweather right now? 45. And you're holding him to the same standard that you would a 24-year-old that's fighting. That's what I'm saying. Your shit doesn't make sense. You're contradicting yourself in every argument. You're telling people that Floyd Mayweather should be fighting Earl Spence when Floyd Mayweather's 45. Okay? Come on, man. Use this shit. You got, look, if there's a gap of fresh air and nothing else, hollowness in between your fucking ears, Use that shit in the middle of it, blood, please. Okay, you're not using it right now. That slush that you call a brain in the middle of this shit in this skull, use the fuck out of it and use your brain, dog. You telling Floyd that means Ali should have fought Tyson because Ali was like 45 when Tyson was fighting. Oh, he should have fought Tyson. Parkinson's and all. And yes, if you compare Floyd Mayweather's career to Muhammad Ali out of the ring, there's no comparison. You're right. Absolutely. This is where I'm going to give you your fact at. Ali did so much great things. Understood. But when you say greatest of all time, so that means Martin Luther King is the greatest boxer of all time because he did so much stuff out of the ring. What you do out of the ring has no fucking bearing on what happens in the ring. What I do know in the ring, Floyd Mayweather's 50 fucking and 0. That's what we do know inside of the ring. I don't give a fuck what he do outside the ring. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay? Let's speak on the shit. Let's speak on the shit. All right? Floyd Mayweather whooped ass 50 times. Nobody beat him. Everybody that you naming, Hagler, Hearns, and Ronnie Lyle, and Muhammad Ali, all these people have lost to somebody. Tell me somebody that beat Floyd Mayweather in a professional fight, and I'll wait right fucking here. I bet you won't come back with nothing. Hold on, go ahead. I'm going to give you a second. I'll give you 10 seconds to figure it out. No fucking body, okay? And even if, let's just say Floyd Mayweather does lose to Logan Paul, who cares, dog? This dude's about to cut a $300 million check again. So it doesn't really matter. And I don't really give a fuck about how much money a fighter makes and all that. I'm only concerned about my bills getting paid. And Floyd is not paying none of them. Muhammad Ali ain't paying none of them. Mike Tyson ain't paying none of them. I'm the one responsible for paying my bills, right? So I don't give a shit, really, what these people make. But I'm speaking from Floyd Mayweather's perspective. Floyd Mayweather's not going to make $300 million fighting Earl Spence, dude. And if you think he will, you smoking dope. If you think he'll get $300 million for fighting Terrence Crawford, you smoking dope. If you think he would have got $300 million for fighting Paul Williams, you smoking dope. Paul Williams didn't even have 30 fights under his belt. Nobody really knew who he was, but real boxing enthusiasts knew who Paul Williams was. Oh, we knew he was going to be something special, but it turned out that he was a dud too. No disrespect to Paul Williams because of the accident and all those things and all that, but he turned out to be practically a dud, man. He got his ass knocked the fuck out. Okay, when I say out, you keep naming these guys that got knocked the fuck out. Pacquiao got knocked the fuck out by Marquez. Am I lying or flying? Please tell me. Paul Williams got knocked the fuck out by Sergio Martinez. Am I lying or am I flying? Who knocked out Mayweather? Okay? Use your brain, dog. Ali lost to a motherfucker that had 7-8 fights under his belt. First of all, how are you fighting somebody that had only 7 fights under the belt and you're the heavyweight champ? Or you Muhammad Ali? If Floyd Mayweather were to fight somebody right now that has Logan Paul ain't got no fights. Same as fucking Leon Spinks. No fights. But you guys are criticizing Floyd Mayweather for fighting him. If Floyd Mayweather were to fight a professional right now with 7 fights under his belt, you guys would laugh at his ass. Man, why the fuck he fighting somebody with 7 fights? He need to fight somebody with more experience. He beat Canelo. Isn't Canelo like number 1 or 2 on everybody's pound for pound list right now? And if he's not, you smoking dope again? Canelo's number 1, 2, or 3. I put him number 1 on my pound for pound list. He's 1, 2, or 3 on somebody's list, okay? And Mayweather beat that guy. And I don't want to hear you say, well, he wasn't that. He was too young. And he had 40 plus fights under his belt. He fought 40 fucking times. 40. That is a professional fighter. He beat Canelo. Name a time Canelo lost other than Floyd Mayweather. I'll wait right here again. So that means since before he fought Mayweather, he was 40-something and 0. He didn't whoop the ass after Mayweather. And he didn't beat everybody. Stop with this cap on you. Dog, YouTube is not a cap site. It shouldn't be, at least. Come on, man. You got to make this shit make sense, dog. Canelo's number 1 on the pound for pound list for me. And Mayweather beat this dude. Beat him. Mayweather's at the end of his damn career damn near. And he beat him. Come on, man. And then you say, oh, when's the last time he knocked somebody out? So what? Boxing is not about knocking people out. It's about getting hit. No, hitting and not getting hit. The referee comes up to you. He doesn't say, hey, knock the guy out or you lose. No, he says protect yourself at all times. That's the number one rule in boxing. That's what these dumbasses don't get. You dumb fucks don't understand what the number one rule of boxing. You guys say, oh, he rope a dope and this and that. He used the number one rule in boxing to his advantage, and that's protect yourself at all times. Not whoop the other guy's ass, not knock the other guy out. Protect yourself, okay? So that's what he does well. And that's the reason why he's got the lowest land-on percentage in boxing history. That's why he's the greatest fighter of all time. And check this out. I've been saying that since 2009. Since before he fought Marquez, I said he was the greatest of all time. And he's never let me down yet. He's won every single fight since. That's what makes it more funny to me. That is just, you guys are trolling. You guys are hating. Okay? Because you guys don't get it. You don't fucking get it. How can a guy be 50 fucking and 0? Beat everybody, dog. Everybody. Dog. Corrales. Beat everybody. All these people beat each other. He beat him. He beat him. He beat her. She beat them. Beat them. Beat them all. They all beat up on each other. Nobody beat him. Think about that. Nobody beat him. They watched film. They fucking watch other fighters to fight them. They got in there. And then let me touch on two other things before I let this go, because this is actually a longer video than I expected. This dude, you're talking about his hair and all that shit. That shit was funny as fuck, dog. Hey, I'm not even going to touch that. You fucked him up, all right, with the hair and the beard, duct taping the beard on, whatever you said. That shit was funny, okay? I'm not going to even get on that. There's no way I'm going to defend that, and I'm not going to even try to. But security, okay? We're going to touch on the security thing. And we're going to touch on the personal life shit, because you want to go and talk about who, his girlfriend. We never saw pictures of her beat up. So he could have just pled guilty just to get this shit over with type of shit. I got a homeboy, to get on a quick story. He got a drunk driving case. Why? Because he was in the backseat of his car with the engine running. He was drunk, but he had the engine running because it was cold as fuck outside. So he had the engine running and the heater blowing, right? Police knock on his window. He sleep in front of his homeboy's house. He didn't even drive nowhere. He had the intent to drive. He got booked with a DUI. That's fucked up, ain't it? So now he's not a drunk driving, but that's what's on his record. So, and he had to plead guilty to that. Otherwise, what? It could have been worse than that. So he took the damn plea and got less than what he could have got. Floyd Mayweather probably did the same thing, because we never saw no pictures. We just saw an accusation, and Floyd was just like, man, get this shit over with. And yeah, he went to jail. Now, with his personal life shit, okay, let's just say he did beat her ass, man. It is what it is, dog. I'm not saying that he was right or wrong, because like I say, I'm not there, number one. I don't know what happened. So I'm not going to even get on that. All I'm going to say is, hey, man, if he did, damn, that's unfortunate for her. But I don't think he did. That's subjective shit, though. You probably believe he did. I don't. Then you say he needs security, right? Okay, so a guy that's made over $1 billion in his career. Money out the ass. 5'8", 5'9", slim guy. Yes, he's a professional boxer. Yes, he talks a lot of shit. But anybody can get robbed, dog. You got to be smart, man. What happened to Pop Smoke? This guy says he keeps a gun on him. He says all this shit in his rap. What happened to Pop Smoke? No security. You see what I'm saying? Nipsey Hussle, ring any bells? Got popped by his own people. And let's get on this, because you talk about Floyd Mayweather, Black Lives Matter, and all this shit. First of all, Black Lives Matter is some trash anyway. They're all about taking black parents, men, out of the home. That's what their sole purpose is to do. And everybody knows a child needs his dad. Black, white, green, yellow. If you have your dad in your life, you have a better chance of being something. They want to take the dad out of the home. If you think I'm lying, go on the website and look it up. You ain't got to believe me. This is all facts over here. I'm not speaking nothing from emotion. I'm a grown man. This is alpha dog shit. Okay, this beta male shit with this Black Lives Matter shit is a no-go. Okay, first of all. So when you talk about Black Lives Matter and you say, oh, he didn't support Black Lives Matter. I don't support Black Lives Matter. Why? Because blacks kill black folks every single day, and nobody has a problem with it until a white cop does it. And then half the time, no, 90% of the time, the black dude that gets killed by the police initiated the whole shit. Okay, one reached for the taser, other ones don't be resisting arrests, and we can go down the list. Okay, some of them be on drugs, losing control, and then we can go down the list, dog. So I'm not gonna even touch on that no more because it's for what? And with the Clippers, look, I'm from LA. Well, I'm not from LA. I'm from Rialto, California, but I'm a Clipper fan. When the owner said that shit, he didn't say it to me. He's not cutting my checks. I didn't give a shit. Just like anybody else shouldn't care. Nothing to do with me. And yeah, I still shopped at Gucci, just like everybody else should have been shopping at Gucci when they came out the blackface apparel. Okay? You know how many people did blackface and black people still watch their show? Joy Behar on The View, black people still watch that show. And she did blackface before. So stop with the shit. Stop with the cap. I'm going to leave the video just like that. This has been another exciting, entertaining, the most influential, the most controversial. You know what it is. It's the stepping back. Check, left hook, make you eat the ring post boxing show. And Ricky Hatton, please, the next time you want to eat the ring post, remember, put some hot sauce in that motherfucker. And I'm out. Bitch.